Hello everyone, welcome to your weekly tech update, the show that explores the newest, coolest, and craziest side of tech available on the interwebs. I'm your tech enthusiast, Ray McNeil. Coming up on the program today, researchers have actually truly created Star Trek level holograms that you can touch and feel, leading the way to my first Bat'leth battle with a Klingon. We have a trio of bike stories this week. Two are e-bikes, one for the snow, and believe it or not, one for the moon, and one that takes fuel and is a bike for the sky. And of course, we'll wrap up the program with this week's Moment of Joy. All that and a whole lot more coming up on today's edition of your weekly tech update next. Oh, holodecks, here we come. A team of researchers has created holograms that users can actually feel, which very well may be the first step towards Star Trek level technology. The team of researchers is from the University of Glasgow, and according to a report by one of the researchers in The Conversation, the team uses a technology called aerohaptics. So how does it actually work? Apparently, users of the hologram are blasted with jets of air, or aerohaptics, which simulates the sensation of touch on people's fingers, hands, and wrists. They explain that the team of researchers tested the jets of air with an interactive projection of a basketball. They say the system provided the appropriate amount of simulated weight to the basketball, causing the overall experience to be quite convincing. Those jets of air deliver a sensation of touch on people's fingers, hands, and wrists that they've never felt before. In time, this could be developed to allow you to meet a virtual avatar of a colleague on the other side of the world and really feel their handshake. It could even be the first steps towards building something like a holodeck. Adding that the touch feedback from air jets from the system is also modulated based on the virtual surface of the basketball, allowing users to feel the rounded shape of the ball as it rolls from their fingertips when they bounce it, and the slap in their palm when it returns. Now that touch has been achieved, the team is moving towards enabling the sensation of temperature by modifying the system so that the jets of air can be hot or cold. This is gonna be awesome. Additionally, the team is considering how scents can be added to the jets of air. For more information on this story, just head over to interestingendeering.com, and in their search box, you can type "The future is here" to find the full write-up. As we continue to wait for Microsoft to release the Surface Neo, the company is already unveiling the second generation of its dual-screen Android phone, the Surface Duo 2. It's a $1,500 device that's slightly thinner than its predecessor and brings some serious camera improvements. Specifically, it now has 3 sensors instead of the lone 11-megapixel camera used in the last-gen setup. They showed it off recently at the COVID Safe demo in New York, and while it wasn't the best place to take memorable photos, some were taken, and the people testing out the Duo 2's triple lenses to take pictures of an Xbox controller easily switched from the main camera to the ultra-wide and telephoto options, and also gave portrait mode a go. It's hard to tell the quality of the pictures really by just seeing what they look like on the screen. Nobody's uploaded them to the internet as of yet, but it appears that they do have pretty decent sensors and pick up on some decent quality in these snaps. That's not surprising, since one of the biggest issues plaguing the Duo's camera software was that it only had one camera that sat above the screen. You had to flip the phone around to the correct side, so it was facing you if you wanted to take a selfie, and have the camera side face out for other shots. This means that the device needed to know which screen to activate based on how you were holding it. With the triple camera sitting on the Duo 2's back, outside, and a 12-megapixel front-facing camera, there's no longer a need to figure all that out. It's a shame though, there's also no longer a way to take photos without having the Duo 2 opened up. If you're shooting with the rear cameras, you must use the device with both screens facing you. The bulky camera bump also prevents you from flipping one of the screens all the way over to have both displays laying evenly back to back. Each panel now measures 5.8 inches instead of 5.6 inches on the original for a combined 8.3-inch screen as opposed to an 8.1-inch canvas before. But they're also taller with resolutions of 1344 by 1895 instead of, well, about 90 pixels lower on the last model. This would have made the Duo slightly more phone-like in shape, but in person, well, you really can't tell that the size has changed all that much. Speaking of, Microsoft claims that this is the thinnest 5G mobile device on the market. Indeed, at 5.5 millimeters or 0.21 inches thick, the Duo 2 is certainly sleek. The company also introduced a slight curve at the inner edge of each screen, an effect that's reminiscent of pages in an open book. This could potentially make it easier to drag apps across screens. Another new feature that makes the Duo 2 feel faster than the original is its higher refresh rate. Both panels now run at 90 Hz and are supposed to be in sync too. This means when you load up a web page and stretch it across both displays, when you scroll up and down on an article, the two halves of the page do indeed keep pace with each other. Microsoft also added support for its new Slim Pen 2, which offers haptic feedback so doodlers and artists can feel a vibration when they put the stylus to the screen. It also tries to mimic the feel and resistance of pen on paper. It's a pretty decent device. As far as the batteries go, well, you'll need to run your own battery test to see how long the Duo lasts, but it has a 4,400 milliamp hour cell that lasts, well, as long as you need it to. It should last you most of the day, even if you're a pretty heavy user. I'm curious to see if the new triple camera system and the problems it introduces are a bane or boon to the Duo series. But for now, I'm cautiously optimistic about the second Duo. You can pre-order it now starting at $1,500, and it'll be available on October 21st. That said, I suggest you wait till you see reviews popping up online before spending any money on a device that's still so new.